Welcome back, everybody, to Motorsport Manager 2017 season, the second one of our Create Your Own Team struggle. And Thotimx Racing enters the last third of the season. We're going to repeat Tondela on a different type of layout, and then, of course, repeat Munich before the finish to the season comes up, 2.5 weeks away. And we have a new suspension, our first max one, going to be ready in just hours. Yay, Pankowitz winning the pole and saying we're pleased as punch. Yeah, well, it didn't go that great during the race for her, but oh well. Orf has a question. Which one of your drivers is better? And I'm not answering that. Gah! Hits our marketability. Well, I could have refused the interview, of course, but I'm not going to game it in that sense. And we have scouting on Charlie Robertson. He's a prototype racer, which means he wants more money. 69% marketability, not quite good enough for us anyway. Forget all of that. And which do we have here? Okay, car repair is finished. Working our way towards Tondela. Let's see what we've got. Alright, this suspension is ready, and of course we're going to want to put all that into the new one as soon as it comes out. We'll also switch out that suspension. But I think we want to keep everything where it is, and just, we're really at the point in the season we're trying to max out part performance for next year. Let's just do that. Take a look at our pit crew. Who might we be able to hire? Well, a guard, we're going to get rid of you. You're not interesting. You're not interesting. Neither are you. Or you. So the question is, do we want a 12 tires person with low stamina? That's Puskarich. And if not, we might not want anybody. We've got plenty of 11s. I mean, probably would be better than Swayston. Potentially better than Ogilby. So yeah, it's probably worth the hire. Okay, so who do we need to replace? Salazar on the front jack, still good at 13. On the rear jack, Gelnovich can stay out there for one more race. And we'll be able to get Harami on the front, somebody else, yeah, Perry I'm sure on the rear. What about our tires, people? That's less... Well, the only one that needs to come out is Grousis. And put in Courtright. I think that's where we need to be at. Now, we are going to get rid of Swayston. At the moment, we have sort of 5 backup tire people, but not really, because one of them is... No, we have 5. Because you're on the jack. Who do we want to get rid of here? And really, we got the 2 11s. And I'm going to get rid of Ogilby as well. So we're at the point where we want, it'd be nice to get up to a 12, if not 13, for the backup rear jack. But, really, we're looking for 12s or higher. Anybody that's not a 12, doesn't matter the position, and really looking for 13s at this point isn't really interesting to us. Okay. And a tiny bit more, we get that suspension in. There it is, and this one maxed out at 320 compared to 280 for the last one. Okay. So, we're going to yank that out. We want to get this suspension ready for the next race. Whoops, I'm on the... That's why it doesn't make sense. I'm looking at the spoiler. Let's try looking at the actual part we need. There we go. Okay, so we're improving our max suspension, our max spoiler, our max engine, and our max brake. And then we'll want to move down to the second line one of those after these are complete. But that's our main deal. And then we've got 17 days. We want to get this up to 85%. Get it up to 100. Will take 17 days. So I think we're just going to try there for a while and see what it looks like when we get closer to the race. And then after this, I think we're just going to be going all in on performance. Now for more design parts, we want to get our second max part now possibly on some of these. And in deciding what to do that on, I think I'm going to go for, see, our suspension bar is way up there now. Look, we're still, oh, we are 11th now. We are not last. Somebody call the newspapers. Print it out in bold caps on all the headlines. We are not last. Still last on the spoiler, still last on the brakes. But I want to work on the ones that we are the furthest down on. So we're going to go with brakes first, then spoiler, and then suspension for our max parts. So one here, and that was all we wanted before. We're just looking to improve them for next year here. Don't really care about what the reliability is going to say on these. We're just going to get them set. One day before the race. Continue anyway, absolutely. I think our sponsors are set for a while. Yeah, 5 races for everything. The HQ has got 8 more weeks. That'll be a couple more races yet. I'm going to have a couple more scouting things coming up here. Let's check into that. Reserve needs a change. No. Nama Med. Not very good marketability. Solid but not spectacular. Okay, well that'll go away eventually. Marketability is really good. Feedback is good. I like her as a potential reserve. She wants plus 250k, blah, blah, blah. But that's a nice feedback number. So if we come to the point where we don't need the money from Nico Kari, I think I want to consider hiring her as a reserve in the off-season. Not now. Just later on. Let's take another look here. We've had a week go by. Okay, we're at 45%. You get up to 85%, so we need 2/3 of the remaining. I think we want to go down to about 13. We're pretty close to right on where that was set. And DTM is off to Singapore. That was perhaps a bit further than I wanted to go. We are 8th, better than 12th. We have Tondela, 39 laps, 3 miles. 10% chance of rain, and everything is spec, soft, and medium. And of course, our next vote not going to be for a while. Katja Blomqvist says we need to improve our mechanics. It's not always easy to find great new staff, but it should help us to improve our pit stops as well as the reliability and performance levels of the car. Yeah, we will want to improve those eventually. It's one of those things I'll revisit in the off season. So that's a good tip, even though I'm already on top of it. Sport Team app likely to struggle. Yeah, they said that last time and they won. Plenty of time left to catch De Silvestro. No, there's not. And Benani wants to pick up a few points. De Silvestro has it wrapped up. More than twice the number of points as anybody else. 4 race wins. Nobody else has more than 1. With 1/3 of the season to go, yeah, it's over. Quit trying to convince yourselves otherwise, fellas. It's over. Let's see, 77%. We want to get up to 85. We can almost max it out, but not quite. So I think we can drop this down to about there and still get it up to snuff. We will see. Let's move along. And we've got our final brakes in. So that'll complicate things a little bit more. And we want to design now a new spoiler. Okay, and this will be quite a while till we get that one. Then after that, we're going to start looking at, do we even have enough time left to max out these parts in the factory? And that's an open question. We're looking mostly at next year here. I don't think I want to put the effort, I want to hold most of the effort into performance. So I'm just going to leave this as it is. the 82%. I'm gonna call that good enough. Gradually boost that up to like 85. Then put the brakes in there. I'm more concerned about getting the performance boosted, not actually putting this out on the track this year. I need to make sure our performance is as good as it can be on our peak parts. So it says at this rate we'd be able to max out all of these in 55 days. And hold on, we're at the end of October. End of September, rather. So that would be like the end of November. You know, we're starting to run up against. I just think I've got to max out performance from here on out, rest of the season. Now let's definitely get our parts changed out here because of the suspension deal. So let's see. Let's move up like this. Pankowitz still 24th. They both think they have the best car. But Hughes expected to be 20th. Look at that. Wow. And let's see where we stand. Okay. Now our engine has slipped to 4th. And we slipped to 12th as well. Zengo got past us. So we're still not better than them overall. 12th there. We have the third best suspension now. And still 12th here in the spoiler. Even though, you know, it's not that far away. It looks like it's about halfway up. So the brake is really the only thing holding us back. And there's not that much more boosting to do on it. There is on that one. In any case, there we go. We don't necessarily want to change our parts. It's going to be really hot. So we're going to be going with mediums, I think is highly likely. Medium fuel burn, high tire wear. We'll go with Hughes and Kari to start this one, since Pankowitz's form is less than spectacular. Looking good weather-wise. Start off with the mediums, and for a 39-lap race, so we could probably get away with a soft and a medium if we finish near the front of qualifying. Otherwise, we'll go on 2 mediums. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Hughes will need to take some time switching over to race trim. And this one only slightly different. It doesn't have that little loop thing in there. I think that's the only difference with the track that we went the other time around. So it's basically a repeat. Are you liking the handling after the first lap, in which he's driving pretty crappy, but Hughes is looking great and also likes the handling. This is a long enough track that I assume we're only going to get to level 1. So we're about halfway there now. It took about 4 minutes. Yeah, there's an outside chance of getting to level 2. So we'll try for that. They want to switch around the ballast, which we'll definitely need to do. We're going to go for one stop and try to sneak out that level 2. Let's drop back to conserve. Due to the heat on the track, we're going to want to make that stop about halfway through. Kari wants more acceleration. So do I want to go around another time, which would be... that'd be a little over halfway. And I don't think I do. I think I want to come in now. Because then we'll be able to make some changes and, in theory, have a slightly faster car the rest of the way. Kari's form improving, and Hughes is fantastic. Okay. Wants more weight in the front. And more acceleration. So that should be pretty straightforward. Maybe bring this back to there. I'm going to try that. Go ahead and make the changes, and let's see what Hughes has to say. Slightly better. 84% for the first try. Let's try somewhere around there. Yeah, let's give that a whirl. This is going to be a pretty short pit stop, which should help us. Okay, now we're going to run the rest of the way and hope these changes are decent. And there's the halfway point. And then if it becomes clear we're not going to make it, we'll come in. But I'm just giving it a shot. You can always make more adjustments late in the period or in qualifying. Hughes likes the cornering. Kari likes the weight distribution, so we're not perfect, I'm sure, but we did improve it. I don't think we're going to get there. Nothing but positive comments, though. Both drivers with high form. So I'm not sure that we're not going to make it, so I want to go for it. There's our halfway. We're not going to make it by the time we run out of time here, but look at Kari up to 5th in the timing. Hughes is down there in dead last, actually. So now we're on the final lap. We're fairly close, but we're not going to make it. Hughes will be the last one to cross the line. Nope. About 80-85%. Just close enough to make it worth the effort. So Hughes comes in last, which is a surprise. Kari in 5th, also a surprise. What does that mean for the race? For later on in qualifying? I have no idea. Panis, Martin, Decker, and Tarquini ahead of us. Chadwick didn't do particularly well, and Silvestro down middle of the pack. So we got a fan buying Pankowitz's shirt, and then another person chuffed. Hashtag practice heroes. So, really? Impressed by the pace of the guy who finished last. You, sir, need to go back to the drawing board. But everybody in the social media feed talking about nothing but our practice showing. Nothing even about the cars who finished 1st through 3rd. So that's very weird and undeserved. Let's see if we can finish 14th or better. So I'm sure we're going to want to make some adjustments, quick start and stops, and then see how we can finish. No sign of rain. Medium tires, which we're not going to use for qualifying. So not a whole lot to help us out there. Not bad, especially Pankowitz. 97%. The only thing we need to do is knock in the handling. So it was great there. And great there. So let's try maybe a little bit more understeer. So if I go there, yeah, I mean, that's... Let me try in between the two. So if I can bring that back a bit. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Okay, 93% for Hughes, which isn't bad, but we need to do better. So handling was great. And then good. So we definitely want more understeer. I'm going to go with a little bit more acceleration as well. I think that's about as close as we can get it. Then we've got to come back that way. I can't bring this any shorter. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it any better than that. So hopefully that gets us into the upper 90s at least. So another case of just pushing that setup to the extremes. Try and get a result. So pretty hot and no weather change. Track getting faster as qualifying goes on. Both drivers with very good form today. I'd like to take advantage of that if I can. Why can't I click on it? There we go. 98%. Okay, so we had great. And we had great. Maybe just a hair more understeer? Almost think it's got to be... Huh. I mean, I could try that. Get you down to about... Yeah, I should have time for one more. So I'm going to give that little tweak an opportunity to show itself. And then 97%, we need to dial in the speed. So good. Great. Great. And I'd like to go a little bit more this way on acceleration. But how? I mean, if I go like that... Yeah, it doesn't help. The only way would be to like bring it there, then use that to nail it back in. I'll give it a shot. Then after they come in from these, we're definitely going to be going out and setting a time. .3 and 7.0. I'm just hoping their form holds as well. Still no sign of nothing but good weather, but if it does turn south, it's going to be too late for us to do anything about it. Pankowitz perfect, but Hughes's form falling. Well, there's time for it to rise. Alright, any quick adjustments, switch tires, and go. That's where we're at here. Well, 98% and it's triple excellent. Switch tires and go, then it is. And we could wait a bit longer, but honestly not much. We're just going to get out there. And here comes Hughes. Ugh. Well, I don't like that. So, this is good. This is great. This is great. And that's good. Okay, so what we want is more top speed. Yeah. I'm going to try it there. .30 seconds. I don't have time for that long of a change, so I'm going to go on the partly used tires. Because that might be just enough time for you to get around. Might still miss it. Going to be very, very close. But I think Hughes will get around in time. Anyway, up to Pankowitz. Driving at 9.6. Hughes' form is up a bit to almost decent. Pankowitz all set. She'll cross the line with less than 40 seconds. Hughes, he is set. He's up to 7.2. Let's see if he gets there. Looks like he will. Crosses right at 10 seconds. If I'd have taken that extra 10 to change the tires, well, it probably wouldn't have worked out. Would have been within a second, and that's far too close to cut it. So 8.3, 7.2, good form, looking to qualify, and we need to be within less than 0.8 seconds. Well, Pankowitz is ahead of the pace of Giovanardi, and Hughes is even further ahead. Okay, now a little behind after that second stint, but we've still got time. Should be able to get a finish. Maybe around 10th. 10th or a little better. That's what I'm hoping for here. Hughes has fallen further off. He may struggle to get up there. So, Pankowitz, you need to bring this home. Oh boy, 14th. So really falling off after that first stint. 19th. Alright, we'll definitely be going on the medium tires then. Neither driver qualifying particularly great. People are not fans of CompTIA. Pankowitz says, we're going to keep the faith. I'll have a good race strategy. Yeah, we'll see. We did okay. Hughes disappointed by qualifying. I think he probably should be. So let's see how it rolls for the race. Medium and race trim. Not much gain, but they are what we have. And then we'll do the tire changes and race trim for Hughes. And yeah, we got to triple excellence with 98% as well. We didn't get any 99s, but other than that, I really can't complain here. Medium tires for both. That will help with dealing with the temperature, but will also be slower than our opponents. So maintaining our spot and then moving up later is the general approach. And yeah, we're definitely going to go down to the 2 laps at high on the fuel burn. Bunch of softs up ahead, and the mediums, they seem to take over right about where Pankowitz is anyway. So row 7 and row 10, but nice to not be at the very bottom where we used to be, that's for sure. 8.3 and 7.2. You cannot argue about that to start a race. And Hughes moving up a bit at first. Pankowitz back, and we're 16th and 17th, right by each other. We'll see which driver gets the upper hand today. Tightly packed racing. Gaining and losing positions as you would expect. 15th and 18th now. Pankowitz in between drivers. It looks like she got the best of that, possibly. And I think we'll go down to push now on the tires. No, we won't. We'll go all the way down to neutral. And this is another case where I think that we can allow the tires to go a little bit into the red. Wow, look at that. Pankowitz up to 10th. Hughes back in 15th, but that was a really nice move. One of those slingshot things that just left everybody else in the dust. But I'm going to let it go into the red on this lap. Then after this lap, I'll go back to conserve. Pankowitz slipping to 11th and 14th. So we really look like we're a middle of the pack car early on in this race. Pankowitz still 11th. Trying to follow up past Giovanardi. Hughes still 15th. And Pankowitz up to battle again with Giovanardi. She is the second fastest car right now on medium tires, behind Chadwick all the way up in third, Panis with a 3-second lead. Pankowitz driving at 9, Hughes at 6.6. And we're now down to 13th and 15th, but here's where it's going to get interesting because we're going to go medium and conserve. And I will switch up to medium on the tires where I can, but oh, Berman crashes. Only a partial yellow. .2 and then 6.4 for Hughes. Both cars right in the middle of it, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. Strategically and in terms of the action, I always find like this stage is the most interesting one, as we're starting to become like an almost average team. There's a lot more tough choices to make. When you're at the very back or the very front, it's a lot more predictable in terms of what you should do. .12th and 15th at the moment, and that's as middle of the pack as you can get. And we'll go neutral here for a bit. We are looking pretty strong to get that sponsor bonus, which means this should be another race that gives us almost $2 million in the bank. Oh boy, that was not the best turn by Pankowitz, and Bonanni takes advantage to duck inside. .13th and 14th. Friends bolts by. So now 14th and 15th, we're straddling that sponsor line. And we'll switch back to conserve now. So currently it does not look like we're a threat to make it into the top 10 here. Friends being investigated. Collided with Katzberg, but it appears no penalty will be assessed. And we'll switch back up to neutral. I think I'd like to stop on probably 20 and 21. Or maybe 19 and 20. We're going to try to see if Hughes can hold off Huff here. But does not. So back to 16th. We'll see if this ever separates out at all. Oh, look at Hughes. By Pankowitz and Huff. Well, now we'll see. Now we're side by side again. Hughes holds off that challenge. But not the next one. So trading places a bit there. Pankowitz trying to get alongside Katzberg. Not making it happen. And we are not gaining much of anything back on the fuel. So we may need to go to low a little bit later in the race. We definitely will not be able to push it all. No choice but to go conserve, and that's probably going to cost Hughes a spot here. Probably not going to be able to hold off Philippi. Nope. And now Pankowitz under pressure. Hughes back to 17th. And Pankowitz barges into Philippi. No action taken. She says it was her fault, but they're not going to do anything about it. And we're back right together at 15th and 16th now. The spot behind, whoa. We were. Decker slingshots around. Now it's 16th and 17th. So gradually getting worse and worse is this race for us. Because at the moment now, we need help to get to that second spot. Or the sponsor spot, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and speed this along through the rest of this first stint, at least till people start pitting. My strategy right now is totally based on the tire temp. Just boosting that up and down. Pankowitz down from around 9 to 7.3, which is what Hughes has been riding at much of the race. And if we stay out of the points, we will still, it looks like, hold on to 8th place overall. Hughes would stay in 14th. Pankowitz would drop a couple spots to 19th. And our odds of getting into the top 10 and shaking that up are not looking good. Still holding 16th and 17th. Quarter of the way through the race. Pankowitz's form dropping a little more. Right now, 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds back of that sponsor position. Pankowitz looking for a way by Katzberg, but still not fast enough. Right now, frankly, our only ace in the hole is the faster pit stop that we're going to get from Jake Hughes. Giovanardi comes in. We're up to 15th and 16th, and that's the first one. So we'll go ahead and slow things down here. See how this next group of laps go as the other cars on soft tires, which is 9 more of them, are going to be coming in. Hannes coming around to pit row. Let's see who, if anybody else, comes in. Aurelian Panis, he, not she, really should go in, and is. Appears to be the only one this time, though. And comes back out in 11th. That was a very fast time. We're staying in that good to excellent form range. Hopefully that will continue. I wonder if keeping their morale high plays into that, or they just naturally have higher form in this mod. I'm not sure how that works. Switch back up to neutral. Still got several more laps till we come in, but I think we've got the tire for it. And Oriola, Shedden, DuPont all coming in. We're up to 12th and 13th now. Whether we'll stay there is another matter, but you can see they're going back out on softs, and that means they're going to have to do 2 stops compared to our 1. I think that's a mistake. Panis did not. Panis probably going to finish the race on those tires and win. A little surprised I haven't been able to make a pass on Katzberg with tires going down. So now they're going to be starting to slow. But has still been able to hold off Pankowitz. I'm wondering when the best time is going to be to back off the fuel, because we're definitely going to need to do that. And I'm not sure. But my tendency is to do it later in the race. Not lose parts or places in the pit stop area. Tarquini and Hamola coming in. We're up to 10th and 11th. If we slow down now, losing positions now could cost us a lot more time later. But later in the race, when things are spread out, it still hurts, but I don't think it hurts as much. Katzberg is actually not only staying out there, but moved ahead of Philippi, and that's really weird. And now Katzberg has lost that spot and will come in. I'm going to stay neutral until that happens. There we go. Or conserve rather, and then switch to neutral. 9th and 10th now. Still waiting for Martin and Georgie to come in so we could get as high as 7th and 8th, but then we'll lose some positions back. I think we're going to pit earlier than the others. I'm aiming for lap 20 and 21 right now. And there's Hughes trying to get by again with stronger. I think it made it. Yeah, he's got the better form now by a considerable distance, 9.8 to 5.9. And I want to let him race, but Hughes is the one who I think is going to finish higher due to his quicker pit stopping. And now Pankowitz under quite a bit of pressure from Oriola and De Silvestro. Here comes Georgi in. Looks like Martin's going to stay out there. Eighth and 9th. So we're about 3 laps away from our first pit stop. And at this point, that would be Pankowitz, with Hughes coming in a lap later. Nice to keep Oriola behind, though. I'm happy that we've been able to do that. Wear those tires out while forcing them to go a slower pace. We're only about 3 seconds behind Panis, but of course Panis has already pit, so that's going to be a bigger gap. I expect Panis to be the race leader, race winner. Hughes looking for a way around Philippi. I don't think he's likely to find one. A little over 2 laps until we are done with this first stint. I'll wait till we get just a little bit closer. Okay, now I'm going to go neutral for the rest of this until it's time to come in. Speed it up. And there's Pankowitz zooming by, so never mind. It'll be Hughes going in, unless he manages to get back in front. One more lap, and there's Hughes trying to get to the inside. And Hughes is going to have to come in for a drive-through penalty after bashing into our own car, of all the stupidity. So that's gonna waste everything that he's gonna gain from the faster pit stop and then some. I didn't have any drive-through penalties for a season and a half, and now I've had 2 of them recently. One from Pankowitz, one from Hughes, and I haven't been overly aggressive. Drivers are just screwing up. Well, that will separate us out time-wise. Suppose we can say that at least. Knocks Hughes down from 7th all the way to 13th. It's not a far enough gap, though, that we don't still have to pit. So Hughes, now that you're back out, go back in. Ugh. And then Pankowitz will go around the track one more time after this, and then come in. Hughes makes a pass, at least trying to, getting by Nagy. Perhaps gaining some fractions there, and then perhaps not. Dropping back to 13th, back up to 12th. And now we can have Pankowitz come in. Hughes, good stop. 6.614 is, I believe, a new record. Also comes out as the last car on the track. Ugh. And Pankowitz is going to be pretty close to back there when she comes in. And then we're going to be doing that whole waiting to see everybody else stop deal. Seeing what positions we can make up. The good news is Hughes has room in front of him and is working on gaining that territory back. 3 seconds behind Ketzberg. Who we would definitely be ahead of without that collision screw up. Let's see how far Pankowitz's drops and how long this takes. Jack work was good. That was good as well. 11.8 seconds. 23rd actually comes out behind Hughes, and there's Philippi also having recently pitted. Comes out just ahead of us. We're going to let Philippi just run away and go conserve. And matter of fact, I think this is a good time. We're just going to go low and conserve because we're not going to be able to get by Philippi anyway. We can probably gain back the lost ground after we get rid of some of this fuel and temperature in the tires. 7.6 and 7.5 for our two drivers at the very back. They're not going to stay there. Question is, how far up do we move? I think we can get rid of another 10th, roughly, in fuel to the end of the race. So I want to drop that down to being a shortage of 1/10. And Hughes now 2 seconds back about of Philippi. Going to be stuck behind for a lot longer. You might want to get used to it. Alright, I'm going to go up to neutral on the tires for the rest of this low period at least. I just don't want to lose too much distance. And now Hughes is gaining some back. Not a great deal of it though. This seems to be a balance which is letting us just gain very slowly, which is about what I'd like to do. It's useful for the fuel situation. Just a few more hundredths to go. Actually continuing to lose time now. And now well over 3 seconds, and we're like 10 seconds back of the sponsor bonus. Here come a couple more into the pits, and we're going to go medium because we're down to about that 1/10. We can make small adjustments at the end of the race. I think we've burned off, or saved rather, enough fuel. Up to 19th and 20th. Now we definitely should get a couple more when Richard and Nagy come in. That would get us up to 17th. Maybe a couple more here. Huff and Shedden. DuPont. Oriola probably a little too far ahead, although it could be close. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go, but I think we're going to get back up right into that middle teens there. And then we'll see what happens. I'm going to stick on normal racing speed here until we get people in for their final stops. In the last several laps, we'll have a firmer grip on where we're going to end up. Hankwit's at the moment driving with a better form, but is behind Hughes. Okay, there's Oriola and Richard. And we pass them both. So for the moment at least, we are up to 17th and 18th. And less than 5 seconds behind Nagy for that sponsor spot. All signs pointing to a distinctly average showing here. Not spectacularly bad, not impressively good, the kind of performance that nobody would really notice after the race, unless they happen to be huge fans. Decker coming in. Was leading the race by about 12 seconds. And now Panis back in front, which we figured to happen eventually. And a bunch more coming in. See how many of them get by us, as Decker only went down to 6th. Well, we're at 14th and 15th now. And Huff, De Silvestro, Friends still going to come in. So, whoa. Got so into that I totally wasn't watching my tires burn up. Thankfully we have extra, and presumably enough extra to get away with that, but we definitely don't want to do that again. Oriola coming up behind Pankowitz. 2 seconds back. That'll be something to watch over time. Oh, 3 more all coming in now. Alright, now this is going to be interesting. Did not mean to do that. Let's get Hughes up there. And we passed 2 of them. Friends came in out just ahead of us. So now we're 12th and 13th. We've got, like, from Hughes back to DuPont is a 5-second gap. And that should be everybody pretty much in. So I think it's time to speed it up for the rest of us. Just adjust the tires where they need to be. And see if we've got enough to hold on. Hughes at 8.5. Pankowitz 7.1. 12th and 13th. Odds of moving up, not good. Odds of moving down, not that great either. Could very well finish in these 2 spots, barring a gift. There's Panis coming in for a second time. I thought he would go out the rest of the race. Only drops to 4th. Just switched tires and may very well win it anyway. But that's a surprising stop. I could go up more on Pankowitz, but is already right behind Hughes, so there's no point. At least not yet. We are losing time gradually to the cars behind us. The question is, do we have enough to hold them off? Probably, but far from certain. There's still 10 laps to go. And Hughes definitely faster than Katzberg. Has better tires and the same type. Well, let's go neutral now and see if we can do this. Both cars. There we go. Hughes up to 11th. And trying to follow is, oh, Pankowitz, but then Hughes goes back the inside and almost got by Hughes. Yeah, so Katzberg went back the inside, almost got by Hughes again. But it looks like overall that worked now. And Friends is the car ahead who we aren't going to pass. There's a nice gap there, and that would give us some points, but... or a point. Hughes now has to go conserve. Pankowitz not yet, and so we may see that order switch or not. Tarquini into second, past Martin. Even though we've gained some spots, we are still only... And here goes Pankowitz trying to make that pass. Okay, we'll set them both to conserve here. Pankowitz becoming the 11th driver and is driving much better, so that's not a bad place. Hughes is going to try to hold off now, Oriola Katzberg. We moved up a spot and we're down to less than 4 seconds ahead. Oh my, Panis having to come in again and has to repair. Wow. So very bad pit strategy by them. All the way down. Was the race leader, or very least contender, and leader most of the day, and now last. And that puts Pankowitz back up in 10th. We have 7 laps now to go. And we're going to get at least a point out of this. So right now, we would drop a spot to 9th because Sebastian Loeb is having a good day. But we would still gain a point. Pankowitz would stay 17th and 14th. Tarquini getting past, but she would pass Morbidelli. It looks like we may have burned off just a hair too much fuel. Both drivers starting to fade a little bit in their form. Still solid on Hughes and good on Pankowitz, but not as good as we were earlier. And if Friends can stay ahead of Philippi, either way, it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Because they're battling right now, and we're catching up. So, go conserve. 5 laps to go. Almost, yeah, now we're hitting the 5-lap marker. Tarquini may have to come in. Homola may have to come in. Even Georgi. So we're not as certain to be done with this as I thought. And we're now up to 5.5 seconds gap. So we're definitely going to hit the sponsor bonus. Looks like we're going to get at least a point here. Let's see if we can sneak up any further. I want to stick with conserve for the moment since we're catching them, till we get a little bit closer up behind. Then go neutral and see if we have perhaps anything that we can do. Katzberg went wide and lost a bunch of positions. That gets us some more time. Okay, so you're a little bit worried. Yep, the gearbox is getting iffy. What about here? Not that much better, but we're almost to the end. And Pankowitz, it's still over a second. But let's go neutral here. So I don't think we're going to get much closer without that. A couple more cars stopping. We're up to 8th and 9th, and Pankowitz driving great, so there's a chance she can make a move here further. Georgi is question mark. 3 laps to go. Probably stays out there. Yep, just into the red here. I'm going to guess they stay, but still. We would still fall to 9th. Even with getting some nice points, because the ones that were around us are having good days. Oh, Pankowitz looking for the pass here alongside Friends, and I think we got it. So that would still leave us in 9th. Believe it or not. Oh, Hughes dropped to 10th, so, okay. That's not good. Yeah, Hughes' form has really fallen off. That's hurting us. Hughes would stay, and Pankowitz would get a bump to 16th. Either way, this gradual crawling up seems to be helping. And right here at the end of the race is the difference. And I think I'm just going to stay pushing on these. For the last couple laps, I'm going to stick with it. But at the end of the race, here is the difference. That Pankowitz is driving better and Hughes has faded. Pankowitz trying to get by Philippi, hasn't found a way yet. Oh, and Hughes all the way down to 11th. That's unfortunate. Unable to really get anything done there. We'll go high with Hughes this last little bit. Not good enough. 7th and 11th. Well, that's better than it looked for most of the day. I can't complain about that. Decker, the surprise winner for Ivan Muller. De Silvestro down in 17th. Got to be one of her worst races of the year. Okay, so Pankowitz and Hughes. Well, it says Pankowitz had a drive-through penalty, but I don't remember her actually taking one. Still, clearly Hughes would have been much further up without that. Giovinardi won the pole, dropped to 15th. Panis had the fastest lap, dropped with the repair need all the way to 23rd. No illegal parts. So Decker is now a clear second, but still well behind Silvestro. We do have 14th and 16th. And we do slide to 9th, even though it was overall one of our better races. So yeah, BRC and Sebastian Loeb had big ones. And so yeah, we're still floating in that area. Another person lying about my good fashion sense. Okay, so we finished 7th on the race. Boy, 7th and 11th, I would expect that to be better than 7th out of 12. Maybe 5th or 6th. In any case, 7.6 for Pankowitz. Her best form of the year, not surprisingly, only her second top 10 finish. The other one came in Dubai, where she also had strong form. So that's very nice, but we didn't see any of this. We do see some stat boosts, though, for Hughes, who most notably ticked over to 9 in consistency. So that's nice. 7.2 for him. Weak at the end, but strong the rest of the way. 11th, which is very average showing for him on the year. So I'd really like to see some boosts from Pankowitz at this point, but she hasn't been lucky enough to bring those in. Hughes, seeing some improvements here. 1.95 million, slightly more than last time. And that is it for Tondela the second. Now it looks like it's going to rain in Munich next time. That will be where we head off to next. Until then, thanks for watching, everybody. The final sprint at the end of the 2017 season will continue.